you know, the no man's land in the outskirts of the city, on an easement of land between the railroad and the highway. And I mean, there's all this stuff is leaned up and built. This is tremendous. There's an entire tree that's leaned. There's a tree right there that he just walked past that's leaned. And he's inside of it now. This is immaculate, guys. This is better than I thought I would find. X on the inside. So remember how on the inside of their shelters on the floor, they'll do X's, and then they'll do strange little, usually they do little glyphs and whatnot. Maybe that was an asterisk at one point down there. I don't know, but they'll do stuff on the, they'll decorate the ground inside.
And everything's built up off the soggy water.
Here is,
ground too.
yeah. But this is a, what I call Triforce triangle. Look at the stick, just sticking through it. So I say there's a Triforce and there's a stick in the middle, like I always say. So they use the same symbols because they can recognize patterns, I think. I mean, I imagine that's the only thing I can think of why they're constantly reusing. Does that not look like a giant nest?
Yeah.
To you? Holy crap. That looks exactly like the nests that they... Look at that. It looks like a bed-shaped... No, come on. It looks like a weird, like, canoe-looking bed. But the sticks are laid in it, though, which they always do. They lay the sticks in their bedding areas. But look, could you pick a better bedding area than this? Who would ever come back here to look? So they'll lay sticks in the places that they like lay down or whatever, and I don't know why they do it. Probably to prevent, well, my theory is to prevent deer and whatever else from laying there using it. I don't know if that's true, but...
Well, and just look at how much has gone into that.
Yes.
At that
so
one
much.
point. Holy cow.
Hold on, let me get back there. See, the architecture inside here is truly incredible. Look at that tight triangle with the stick in it that your light's on.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, with the stick right in it. And then look at how it all weaves up into a point right there. Gosh, that's incredible.
Even the big X up there as well. It's all going up and through.
This is, guys, this is really good. I mean, this is a good find. So they surround their little bedding areas with walls of really loud sticks. Can you see how it looks like a big old coffin bed?
You can actually lay it underneath this tree. There's
I know,
a
but
area underneath it.
Oh, really? But in front of it, hey, where my dog is right now, that's the nest. The whole thing, the thing that you're standing in, kind of. Yeah, that's the nest. This whole long thing. Yeah, and there's another bedding area underneath.
Under that, if you were to crawl in there, that's like the perfect place to sleep.
Really? I want to come see it. Oh yeah.
All that, just covering that open spot.
Yeah, it's almost like a blind, right? A blind in front of the thing. You're absolutely right. And look, you can even tell that it's been laid in recently. It's very pushed down. And it's very long. Look how long that is. That's like 12 feet long. That is a perfect... You know what? That's amazing. Good find.
I almost bet there's a body impression right there.
Well, I think there's a body impression. This whole... Look, it's all flattened down.
Yeah, but
it's
right
very...
where your dog is, right there, that stick down there.
Okay, let me see.
Right in front of it, it kind of
Oh, where
down like something's been laying there.
Yeah. Oh, that's like an alien light, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's the on-off button. Okay. Oh, I hate when my face runs freaking smack dab into a spider web. Well, look inside. This is another one of those lodge caves. Guys, this one is just as immaculate as the last one. So here we have a lean-to thing coming up. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Inside here, it's just completely flat and big. It's like literally I'm in a den, a lair of like a cave troll or something. Does it not feel like you're in a den right now?
Kind of does. It
Like
comes
some sort of
in,
weird bear
has
den.
like a little wall there.
There's a wall that they built.
There, little wall here.
It's really, look, they've even woven stuff into the top. Even from the top, you really can't see in here. This place is incredible. Okay, here's a big structure.
This one could just be here to block the view from the golf course.
Oh, true. Yeah, the golf course blocked the view from the golf course.
What corridor are they taking to get here to not be seen?
The river.
Here?
The river. Like, they travel along waterways. They've done it, so they come out of Blacksmith Fork Canyon. Another wall that we have built up right here. And then back on the inside it's perfectly clear and nice and cozy and flat. Jeez, this is a gold mine. So here's a teepee here. This was not made by granola people or boy. I would kill myself if I slept out here because the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I hear that Sasquatch actually will eat garlic or whatever to get the mosquitoes off, and I wonder if that's always. I wonder if they rub rotting meat onto their fur to deter mosquitoes. I don't even know if that's a thing. There's definitely a lot of mosquitoes out here. Okay, so right now we are at a railroad or the train tracks, or whatever you call this. And when you're in a human area like this, whether it's a road or a trail or train tracks or a highway, I call it a high-risk area because a large bipedal creature is going to have a high risk of exposing itself, being seen in these areas. So when you're out walking in one of these areas and you're in the woods in an active area, what you want to do is look for, off to the side, you'll see these little corridors in the forest, but they're barricaded. They have a bunch of sideways logs laying across the path, almost like a, keep out, like a fence. But they're unnatural. You can see that all these ones, they've been snapped off. Right, this one looks like it was cut at one point, but it was dragged across. You can tell that's the bottom of the tree. So it was just pulled across the trail. And so it's like a, don't come here. If you go beyond those fences, you'll often find yourself in like a hidden hallway or a little, travel corridor. So, oh yeah, and the glyphs. So common glyphs, there's actually several of them here, but so they'll do these where, can you point your finger to it, somebody? So you have a big horizontal one up top,
big one.
And then you have all these other ones that are perpendicular to it. Where's the other one? Oh, and then there's a triangle here, and then there's oh look, it may have done another one of those weird things where there's a horizontal and a bunch of parallels, but oftentimes they'll do these 3 sticks that are like an arrow, but I can't see them. But I'll lay it out for you. Can you hold this, Paul? Sometimes, and I'm not saying that these are arrows. I don't know what they mean, but I'm just gonna make one. But they're usually gonna be bigger. But they're gonna be like this. Okay, they're gonna be like that. Or sometimes they're like this. I mean, that's why I say that they look like arrows. Obviously, it looks like an arrow. Sometimes they're like this. But sometimes they'll be huge with giant logs, like made out of trees. So that's how you kind of know that that's your cue to walk into the forest. Also, obviously, the flagger trees that I've talked about, generally around their corridors, they'll have, oh, I thought it was blue glass. No, it's not blue glass, but we have found glass bottles. But along their corridors, they'll have something big and obvious sticking out like a sore thumb. Talked about it before. There's a pile of wood here. I don't know if that has anything, but what happens here is that's freshly snapped. A bunch of that stuff's freshly snapped, but I don't know. I mean, obviously that was probably, a lot of it was placed here, but I think further that way their corridor just continues, and of course it does, because I can see structures right now, but it's also a swamp. So we're just gonna walk this way for a while and then go back into the forest when we have another cue. So there's these little signs. Again, guys, it's like the Viet Cong. During the Vietnam War, the North Vietnamese, the Viet Cong specifically, they used tree structures in their maneuvers and their battle tactics, and they were extremely effective with the tree structures. And all the soldiers of the Viet Cong were very familiar with these tree structures and what they meant. And so you just gotta look for all these little signs. See right here, for instance, you have a tree that has just a ton of stuff wedged and broken and shoved and woven inside of it. Like that giant upside down one right there. Everything is leaned and shoved, and a lot of it did come from this tree, but a lot of it didn't. And so you can walk along next to it and you might end up in a corridor too. Oftentimes they'll actually walk in water. They'll walk in, not in the mud, they avoid mud, but they'll walk in water. Sometimes the water is shallow enough that you can actually see down. You can see their footprints still on the bottom of the stuff. All right. So this is a pretty big, so I can't take credit. Robert on Facebook told me about this place, so I did not find this. He did. This one, here's the reasons why I think this is a Sasquatch structure and not a human structure. It has the hallmarks of a Sasquatch structure because everything is stripped of bark and branches. It's broken on the bottoms, not cut. Okay, everything's broken. You have a horizontal stick. Now, I've talked about horizontals. The Sasquatch like to do horizontals. This tiny, skinny little stick is actually forking that one up. I think that's awesome. And then there was something else that I was gonna point out. Well, this branch, this one that's curved right here that you can see, it was hanging, but I messed it up. I just knocked it down. There's no X's on the inside that I can see. I don't know. Nothing create. There is, okay, so the hole, remember how I mentioned that there's a dugout? And in the center of these things, there's usually a dugout. And then I don't really see any really good glyphs in here that are very obvious. But anyway, this is surrounded by, first of all, it's in a Sasquatch corridor, so that's significant. It's surrounded by other tree lanes and weaves and stuff and blinds. This is just along one of those hidden hallways that I've talked about. Here, let me hop up. Let me hop up there. Yoink. So clearly this couldn't provide shelter to anything, but I think that maybe it's a decoy, and I think maybe the real Sasquatch structure is back here inside the bush, hidden really, really, really well. Right there. And this is natural. There's a gigantic tree. And now that I'm putting my light in here, I'm hearing owl hoots all around. You guys hear that owl? Hear the owl, right? No, it just happened, right? Come on, you gotta be hearing that. It's right there.
Oh yeah, now I hear it.
I think I have like weird hyper hearing because I always hear stuff that other people don't hear. It's called schizophrenia. Just joking. So see how this is a structure, guys? So that's why I think that sometimes these ones that are just like, bam, just right out in your face, out in the middle of everything, I think they could just be some sort of strange decoy. I mean, I don't know, that's probably wrong. I don't like saying they're a decoy, but I don't know what else. What could they be? I know diamonds and triangles. So right here is a stick going across. Then you have this X, and then you have another stick going across like an hourglass, basically. See how you actually have a square. Square here,
Yeah.
here, here. So it's a square with an X in it. And then starting to see the triangles, the heavy triangles everywhere, which is like a sign that you're getting, when the structures start to get bigger and more obvious, then you're starting to get into a wallow area. I mean, it's not always the case. Sometimes they'll just make big structures, like monument markers, they'll be out in the middle of nowhere. I'm amazed. Dude, I'm not coughing, I'm not having allergies. Natural honey. Or wild local honey, I should say.
If you need honey, my cousin is starting his own beehives.
Really?
Yeah.
What a cool guy. It's a good thing to start beehives. It's a really good thing. So here's a funky thing.
Dude, there are like a million tree limbs back here.
And underneath it, so this is actually kind of like a lean-to looking deal, because underneath it there's nothing and it's been built up. Hold on. You got a structure going on this tree here. Look how it's broken. Focus up. This tree, see, this is what I mean by base piles. They'll pile up stuff around the bases of trees and they'll just shove it in there really tight. This is a perfect example of all these sticks that have they've shoved into the base of this tree and woven it and stuffed it. Oh no, here come the allergies. And it's sticking in there. This tree is just hanging there. All sorts of stuff. I mean, it's shoved up there and it's hanging there. My gosh. Crazy stuff. Lots of stuff going on. Oh man, there's a teepee up against that tree back there. There's a whole teepee. Holy cow. This place is nuts, man. Paul. Oh my gosh. Paul's like, I didn't even think to come checking in here. Which that's how.
This thing is huge. You missed the Sasquatch house over there.
I'm saving it for the grand finale.
Okay.
Oh my crap.
That's what I mean. You missed the house.
Whoa.
There's even a doorway. Look at this.
Oh.
Like perfect doorway.
Hey, this whole tree. Oh no, that grew there. Oh, guys, walk in there and
this
shine.
Is cool.
Walk in there and shine your lights at the ground.
It's a perfect little doorway.
Here's the bed.
Oh, check the ground.
Everything's broken. Lots of X's. Lots of. See how they make these strange little. They don't serve any structural utilitarian purpose here, but they'll make like strange X's. Hold on. Well, people better find this and appreciate it, because this is a gigantic structure. Oh my gosh.
I'm calling this one the house.
Yeah, like the freaking palace. They'll drag all sorts of strange things. Point your light up at the roof, could you, Ryan? Like evenly out, I mean towards the bottom, like over here. If you could. Because I want to show everybody how well it's woven. I mean, this place is
ridiculously tight.
Woven. And a person wouldn't
really
do it
woven
like
well. Gosh, that's
that's not a way a person would try and weave that together.
Look how these are woven here. That's amazing. Ryan, this is a freaking Oh, sorry. This is amazing, dude. Seriously, I'm blown away. I'm blown
Come
away.
back during the day and film it better. Give it justice.
Definitely. Look how... And you know, Sasquatch, they don't lean their structures together. They weave their structures together. They weave their structures together. They're held together with pressure. You got a Triforce triangle going on here in the thing. Just look at the weaving, the
That's
intense.
the first piece of string I found in this entire thing. Look right there.
They'll grab string. Oh,
Yeah,
that's typical.
tied.
That's typical though. They'll grab string and twine.
That's the only string in here though. That's it.
You got a bunch of parallel sticks. I told you. The sticks, they'll lay a bunch of parallel sticks in there. Got a little mat, bunch of rocks. Do you guys see any patterns in the rocks anywhere?
I've been looking, I haven't seen anything.
This is woven so perfectly. It's almost, Alfie. Holy cow, he's just torturing us today. It's woven so perfectly, guys, it's almost opaque. I mean, it's almost, this has a roof. So I call this a wigwam because it has a roof. If there's a shelter and it has no roof, I just call it not a shelter, a structure. I just call it some sort of other kind of structure. See, this is why it's a Sasquatch and not a human though, because they have these strange, they have these locking devices that they do with the triangles that pin everything together and hold it tight. I mean, these structures are really held together tight. This structure is probably about 15 feet tall. This is a good find, Robert. This comes from Robert on Facebook. I don't know if he wants me to say his last name, but I don't get any credit for finding this. He found it. He found it. My gosh. So this is probably, I don't even know, 18 feet long inside. Huge. How many people could sleep in there if they were laying this way?
Oh yeah, easily.
12? I don't know.
Yeah,
15? I don't know.
Good group.
15, yeah, that's a good
Whole
estimate.
scout troop.
Definitely a whole scout troop with the adults.
Yeah.
You have a weird like rock thing, like almost like a entry, like almost like a cobblestone walkway. See the Sasquatch are into like Western European decor. But there's this crazy, look, there's a structure over here
All
too.
these crazy things.
Guys, we found a wigwam. I love finding wigwams. It's so great. Well, no, people will find Sasquatch stuff and they'll be like, cool, a fort that's been abandoned, and they'll
Camp next to it.
I've camped. I camped in a wallow myself, filled with structures, and we see something cool, and we humans tend to commandeer it and just steal everything. So this is a wallow, dude. This is what a wallow is like. So just the magnitude of the structures, the proximity of the structures to each other. Notice the what did we see on the way in here? Flagger trees, glyphs, ribbons. They're marking everything with the same color ribbon. They'll bring them over and they'll mark their areas. Initially, I didn't want to talk about this because it was embarrassing, because I thought, oh, people would make fun of me. But it's just, wait. Okay, I'm walking in a swamp. But the thing is that I didn't want to mention the ribbons. Basically, I'm just barely starting now because so many people in other states are seeing them that I'm like, okay, I'll start to talk about them. They'll grab ribbons and different colors of pieces of trash and different balloons. What do you guys think that the markings on the trees are for? Guys, there's a hole. Do you guys see that gap in the swamp? There's like a perfect little cave that the swamp is going into, and my dog just went in that. See, my dog's in it again. My dog just went into the cave. It's a big cave. It goes far back there.
And now they're both in it.
Gonna be like a giant toad back there that just swallows them. Okay, we're experiencing something right now that actually, I've never experienced this before.
That's not your dog.
All of the trees started creaking big time all around us, in a perfect circle around us. And I'm talking big creaks. Like the trees started bending. We didn't see anything, but it was very loud. It was all around us.
That was a little creepy.
That was insane. Guys, I have never experienced anything like that before. Don't freak yourselves out. Don't start thinking, oh, Satan. See, most of the time people really work themselves up way too much. Dude, there's something. Hey, stop. There's something running back there. Something running around back there. There's both of my dogs, so it's not my dogs. Listen, you guys can stay here. Okay, hey, Callie, Alfie, stay. Shh, sit. Stay. Oh my gosh, what the? Everything's creaking again. Well, my dogs are, not. My dogs aren't acting alarmed, and usually I'm not alarmed if my dogs aren't alarmed. Guys, this wigwam is intense. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever experienced in my life.
When it was like
just stay calm.
Same time.
Yeah, remember to stay calm though. Don't read into stuff, It's funny how quickly people will go to like Satan, demons. It's whenever they get scared, they start to think evil, and you just gotta stay calm and say, okay, all that's happening is I'm just hearing noises. That's absolutely fascinating. Are you guys around? We're just visiting. We don't mean to intrude, guys. What is all that noise coming from?
Tree knock.
What was that? Maybe.
It's tree knock.
It might just be the wind.
No, it's not a tree knock.
But it's
You know what,
tapping, though.
guys?
You hear it.
I think all that happened is just the wind.
The wind just.
There's so much. Look, there's the structures. There's so many structures around here woven so tightly into the trees that as soon as the wind picks up, the flashlight turned off. Well, sometimes your flashlights fail in these wallow areas, and that's a whole.
Battery doesn't last too long,
Okay, I was gonna say that's a story for a whole nother day, but yeah. So it's just the wind. A gust of wind will hit the tops of the trees, I'm sure, and then everything starts bending and creaking because it's so tight. See, that's why it's important to stay calm, is because people would otherwise run out and be like, oh my gosh, the devil attacked us in the woods. All right, let's head out. Okay, so we're lost right now, but we found another structure. Yeah, we're definitely getting turned around. Found a cool structure.
Whoa.
That might have been a wood knock.
Was that the dog?
No, that wasn't the dog. That was
loud.
Yeah, that was loud. But that sounded kind of almost like a creak and a wood knock. May not have been anything.
So guys,
It was
if we
loud,
go
though.
Left, we will hit the train tracks. That's the closest thing. The trail pretty far.
Which direction is it?
So right now,
Sometimes if I see scary things, or if I see eye shine, or if I see stuff, I just won't even tell the people that I'm with, because I know that they'll want to leave. And I have enough experience with the Sasquatch to know that they're not waiting there to eat you. They're not these sinister, dark, freaking maniacal things. They just observe you, they're really cool, actually. The fear goes away. So if I tell people about stuff, sometimes they just really freak out. Even if the Sasquatch are being aggressive, you still can't allow yourself to get all worked up. You got to just back out respectfully and talk to them. If you talk to them, it will help calm you down too.
Yeah, I've got LCD, no problem.
Dude, this is absolutely a phenomenal place to come looking for sign of Bigfoot. You know, if the Discovery Channel ever comes with me or anything, and or if I'm ever teaching somebody like a class or something on hidden hallways, I'm bringing them here. There's a couple perfect models of Sasquatch behaviors here. So again, Robert, good freaking find, dude. Well done, brother. So my favorite thing about what happened today was that when we were in the wallow and we were hearing those noises, which I think was the wind. Here's the funny thing. I mean, we were hearing all the creaking and the stuff all around us, and in addition, we were hearing the thing that was running around. There was something. It sounded like just one thing. It wasn't my dogs. It was larger than my dogs. It was making more noise, and plus I could see both of my dogs, but it was running in half circles around us. It was always staying near us, and it would run back and forth in a half circle. And then if we stopped talking or we stopped moving, it would stop, right? Or at least that's what happened to one of the kids there. So it was me, Paul, and Ryan. And with Ryan, when he was separated from us by about 40 or 50 feet, it was running around him. And he would stop and turn off his flashlight, and it would stop. So I would say just a deer or something, but just the half circle, the circle behavior, and just the constant making noise. It was intentionally making noise, and then the behavior of it just stopping and staying still whenever we would stop. You know, it's definitely some suspect behavior. But the funny thing is this: we were scared. We were hearing the thing that was running, and we were hearing the trees creaking. But when we decided that the trees were creaking just because of the wind, we stopped being scared and we forgot about the running thing. And suddenly, the running thing, like we just, it's funny because it just was like for some reason, like we just didn't think about it anymore. We're like, oh well, we figured out the wind. It's solved. No reason to be scared. And then we just walked out of there. And I'm just thinking back right now. It's like, oh wait a second. We solved the creaking, but we never solved what it was out there running around. It's kind of funny. Anyway, today was very, very fun. We found a great place up here in Logan. So people that are in Logan, Utah, guys, oh my gosh, you have no idea. You're sitting on a gold mine when it comes to Bigfoot. Logan Canyon is packed with habitat. Oh my gosh, my mirror is shattered. That's strange. I have no idea how that happened. But the Logan Canyon, there's so many sightings, guys. Tony Grove. Oh my gosh, if I lived in Logan, I would be up at Tony Grove all the time. I'd practically live there. Then you have Blacksmith Fork Canyon, where there are tons of sightings. You have Porcupine Reservoir, Scare Canyon. Scare Canyon is like Bigfoot freaking Shangri-La. There's like hundreds of years of like 200 years of solid Sasquatch sightings from the early Mormons and people that came in for the silver rush in Utah, the natives. Guys, this place is a gold mine. And then you have Highway 162 or Highway 62 that goes from Avon to Liberty. Guys, that's freaking packed with sightings. So if you're in Logan, you need to learn how to recognize how to appreciate these creatures, because they're everywhere up here. It's like the land of milk and honey up here. So, and the same thing for people that are living around Payson Canyon, or the people that are living around American Fork Canyon. Geez, you guys you have it way better. You have way better stuff than I do. So really, you need to get out there and appreciate it and see it. Go and see. All right, see you guys.